everyone. Please welcome the creators, executive producers, and stars of Ghosting, Hutchie and Matthew Finlan. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I need to tell you,
yes.
I spent a Christmas in that house. I was in that room, and it was spooky. I did not know it was haunted. I would not have been there. Yes.
Oh, it's a crazy place, that house.
Yes.
The Merrill House?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Any place with a teeny tiny door, ghosts.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. That's what we've learned. Anything that was built in the Victorian era, there's a ghost.
There's a ghost.
Which to me, the Victorian era is anything before today.
Yeah. I love it. Well, honestly, this show looks like a total scream. Sorry about the joke, but we gotta do it. Now, I know you are both used to acting and working in the horror genre. You co-star in the series Ezra together. But what gave you guys the idea for this unscripted series?
I think it was more of just basically, I mean, long story short is we somehow ended up accidentally at Alcatraz, and we were trying to find a way in to see if it was haunted. We didn't. And I think the biggest thing was that, like, we just felt like, why not? And I think it was also a fun way of being able to include our friends and kind of introduce a new way of, like a star system into Canada and highlight places that you never see, you don't know, and just showcase the country in a really new and exciting, strange way.
Totally.
That we feel, you know, hopefully people love it, and that's just my TED Talk on that.
Yeah, we thought it was a fun idea because we're known for doing like scripted horror stuff. So you see us faking our reactions a lot of the time. And so we were like, what if we put ourselves in a truly scary place, like a haunted house, and see if we're as brave as we pretend to be. So.
And also being able to include our friends like Katie Douglas from Ginny and Georgia, Devyn Nekoda from Scream.
Exactly.
So we had like so many fun, Kevin Alves from Yellowjackets. So we had a really fun array of people we were able to make the show with, so it was super exciting.
That's so fun. You get to work with your friends, and again, people who are used to working in the horror genre, but in a professional capacity.
Exactly.
Not like an actual scary capacity.
No one is qualified to do what they're doing. We are all overconfident.
I'm not even qualified to be here.
Yeah, no.
I love it. Okay, so between the two of you, one of you is a believer, correct?
Yeah, right here.
So Matt, you're the believer.
Yeah, 100%.
So have you ever seen a ghost in real life?
Well, okay, while we were filming this show, it wasn't on camera, but I totally saw something. And we were at one of our locations. I can say now, it was the SDG jail in Cornwall.
Okay.
And we were doing, our guest, Frankie Grande, was doing a solo session. And at the back of the room, I saw like a shadow move across, and I swore it was one of our production assistants helping. Nobody was at the back of the room. And our first AD, shout out to Brooke, she saw it as well.
Oh,
so,
okay, you got backup on this.
100%.
But the other 30 people that were there didn't.
Okay, so clearly you are the skeptic.
Yes.
I just want to believe, I'm expecting The Exorcist, you know what I mean? And then I'll believe it.
Yes.
There's only so many times I can be like, oh my God, did you see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't see that.
If a door slams, you're like, it was the wind. You are an explainer of the thing.
Yeah,
100.
I'm like the logical one. But again, if I'm levitating, spinning in the air, there's only so much I can do. Like, I'm not a trained acrobat, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I come in, is just trying to, find the plot holes in Matthew's theories.
Okay,
but
I like this.
The duality is what helps us reach, if it actually was haunted or not.
I like that, because I feel like if you were both whole into it would just be a circle of you guys being like, everything is haunted. Yes.
Exactly.
All right, now speaking of, you visited 8 of Southern Ontario's most haunted spaces, from castles to museums to jails, as you mentioned. Which place stood out to you the most, whether it was because it was the most haunted or just the most interesting story?
What do you say?
I mean, it didn't stand out exactly in the jump, but I would definitely say Castle Kilbride in Baden, Ontario, just because the lore of the house was just of this family that had lived there, and many of the relatives of the family died inside the home. But it was very okay, and out of nowhere, this demonic possessed doll at 3 a.m. decided that it needed to communicate with us. To the point that we were screaming, and I'm pretty sure Devyn Nekoda actually pissed herself a bit. But it was done in a really funny way. We were all screaming and crying, and it was the one time where I think no one saw it coming, because you would ask it oh, do you want us to let you out of this box? And I'd be like, yes, out now, and it was just crazy.
Fun
it's
fact about me as a kid, I always had dolls. Everybody had their dolls, but I would turn them around at nighttime so they couldn't watch me sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
like
a little
that's
scary.
creepier,
I know,
though.
I know. I
It's
feel like I
giving
gave them power.
Yeah,
I
a
know.
little bit.
A
That's
little-
what I would say.
All right,
yeah.
well, gentlemen, since you are both ghost hunters now, official, professional ghost hunters,
Oh, yeah.
I thought I'd find out if you guys could spot the fake headline from the real headline. Okay, so we've got some
Yeah.
spooky headlines that
Okay,
have happened.
bring it on.
All right, here we go. Which one is real? Which one is fake?
Okay.
Wife returns after having fine funeral, or security camera footage shows empty car drive out of a parking lot.
Oh, I want the second one to be real.
You want
so
the- okay.
I'm gonna say
Really?
empty car drives out of parking lot.
Not a wife coming back to life after her own funeral?
I feel like the second one sounds crazier, so that has to be the real one.
You are both wrong.
What?
They're both fake?
Yeah, there was a lady who, back in 1904, the city falsely told her husband, he's like, oh, this is what's up. He had a funeral, and then a few days later, she came home.
This is a great example of
Yeah.
our show. We don't know
Wait.
anything.
But like, how did she come home? Like her ghost came home, or like?
No, corporeal is the ghost. A human form of a lady.
Whoa.
So they were like, oh, she's dead, LOL, never mind. Actually,
Yeah,
she's
and
fine.
actually the husband was really mad because he had to pay for the funeral, and he was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
That was
spooky.
That was actually Matthew Finlan.
Yeah, totally.
Also, that's what
Macaroni.
counted as news in 1899.
Yeah, exactly,
I
yeah.
love it so much. Well, thank you so much for playing, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out Ghosting with Luke Hutchie and Matthew Finlan. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. That was so fun!